The weather station of Ilet Tower recorded a wind speed of up to 110 km/h. Meteorological Service reported that the level of the Seine rose by 35 cm due to heavy rain. Meteo France has warned of increasing winds and heavy rainfall in the southwest as several associations of the massive central estuary and crossed the country from the southwest to the northeast. Torrential rain have left Paris following the recent heat wave in France that flooded metro station in the French capital. Transportation network have been alert, with the several flight cancellation and delays reported to Charles and Curl Airport. Republic Transportation Service have also been particularly affected, as the bus and train schedules have been modified and ensure passenger safety amidst the tumultuous weather conditions. Another residents of French capital filmed motorists driving through deep water ironically saying Paris is beautiful because you can ever go water skiing here. Paris, France, in a stunning touring event. The city of London finds itself under the grip of imminent storms set to unleash a fury upon of the capital. The meteorological department has issued a severe weather alert, cautioning residents to visitors alike prepare to tumultuous conditions. With the memories still fresh to the past storm have worked havoc across the country, including the devastation Xavier in 2017. Generals are talking in the threat to Gustav Zeros and bracing themselves for the what could long a child through the affected areas level a trail of shattered windows and danger to hackers in its way. Local authorities have been working tirelessly to provide aid to support those affected by the scare and the disaster and scattered rescue team. Emergency shelters have been set up to offer refuge to displaced families, while search and rescue teams navigate treacherous conditions to locate those with miles stranded or trapped. Italy's historic agriculture and a cultural hierarchy have also fallen victims in a dual onslaught. The impact of the city infrastructure have been severe, with the reports collapsed bridges and damaged roads hindering rescue efforts. The metro network, a lifeline for many communities, came to gripping half that the tunnels become submerged grave, compounding the chaos. In a shocking turn of event, Barcelona, Spain, finds itself grappling with a catastrophic flood, leaving the city and its residents in the state of turmoil. Torrential rain, unprecedented in their intensity, unleashed havoc in the region, overwhelming graving system and triggering widespread inundation. As streets are forming in the region, rivers emergency service will be mobilized to aid those affected by the calamity. Brave force responding, launching rescue missions wading through the waist deep water to reach stranded individuals and families trapped in their homes. Helicopters wait above plucking people to rooftops and flood waters continue to rise. As the day progressed, images in submerged cars uprooted, trees and debris strewn streets circulated on social media, painted a grim picture of widespread destruction. Residents clad in the rain-soaked clothes and were seen banding together to other assistance displayed admirable resilience in the face of adversity. The floodwaters have also taken to toll Barcelona's circular culture heritage and icon landmarks, including a former Sagrada Familia and historic buildings are witnessing water-separated structured damage. Massive floods have wreaked havoc in historic district of Jourdain in Paris, France, following heavy rainfall on past few days. In a picturesque neighborhood now is a charming canals and quarrying bridge have been transformed into waterlogged maze. The river Seine burst its banks, submerged streets, shops and homes as a torrential smooth water surged through the sea. Local residents were cut off guard by a sudden deluge, with the many forced and evacuate their property and flood waters rapidly rose. Emergency service and volunteers have been working tirelessly to rescue stranded individuals to provide shelters to those affected. The authorities have issued a red alert urging residents to remain vigilant and prioritize their safety. The flood had caused significant disruption in the daily life in Jourdain. Public transportation service have been severely affected, with the several bus routes suspended and metro station closed due to water damage. Businesses in area, including restaurants and board quays, have been forced to close their drops, temporarily adding to the economic strain caused by ongoing pandemic. The city government has mobilized the rescue to manage the crisis. Germany finds itself in the grip of South Gustav, the tempest unprecedented magnitude that swept across the nation, leaving destruction in the chaos in the wake. From the northern coastal regions to the picturesque landscape on the South Gustav relatedness to the test of resolve and resilience of the German people. In the Hamburg, Europe's second largest port city, in the storm are unleashed in the water of resilience force. High winds whipped through the streets, caused havoc and disruption, when torrential rain transformed roads into rivers. The city's flood descended put at the test and authority worked tirelessly to protect vulnerability erased from the inundation. As Gustav swept inland, Berlin bears in the brunt the fury of iconic landmarks such as the Brandenburg Gate to Berlin Wall, standing the silent witness of nature over some power. Streets are deserted as the residents seek shelter from the storm, while emergency service come ready to respond to calls to assistance. In the rural Bavaria, communities rally together in the face of adversity, offering support to solidarity to those in need, and the farmers work tirelessly to secure livestock to protect crops and some stock, while villagers come together to clear debris to ensure the safety of their homes. Transportation networks, great and half of Gustav Fury disrupted rail and road travel across the country. Flights are grounded, trained, and deployed to have become impossible to follow. Trees and debris block vital roads. Yet amidst the chaos, emergency working tirelessly to keep essential service running to ensure the safety of the public. As Gustav finally begins to reset, Germany emergency battery to unburden limited determination to rebuild and recover. Communities come together to assess the damage, offering support to assistance to those in need. The spirit of resilience burst bright across the nation, reminding the work of Germany's strength and determination in the face of adversity. A severe hailstorm hit the region of Veneto, Italy, caused extensive damage and caught residents by surprise. The hailstorm, as big as a golf ball, pounded the area relentlessly over the hour, resulting in shattered windows, ruined groups, and dented vehicles. In the aftermath of the tempest, the authorities are evacuating the extent of the devastation, offering assistance in the affected communities. Emergency service promptly responded to the crisis, but the damage was so widespread that local authorities struggled to keep up. Residents faced difficulty in reaching safety. For farmers, suffered significant losers, with the vineyard and orange devastation by the storm. Despite the challenges of the people of Veneto demonstrated their resilience of coming together to support one another. In a shocking turn of events, the picturesque town of Trocesimo in the province of Udine, Italy, was recently based in the relentless onslaught of natural fury. A torrential flood accompanied by a violent hailstorm wreaking havoc on tranquil streets, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Residents of Trocesimo found themselves grappling with the double whammy as flood water surged through the cobbled alleys, inundated homes and businesses alike. The relentless rain, driven by gust-force winds, transforming in town once peaceful ambience in one of chaos and despair. As emergency sirens roaring through the water-loaded streets, local authorities will mobilize rescue operations, ensure the safety of residents stranded by deluge. The community related together, offering assistance to those affected by extended a helping hand of the vulnerable. Images captured the surreal scene of hailstorm, some a slice of a golf ball plumping the town rooftops and vehicles, leaving a trail of destruction from silence of a scene from disaster movie. The aftermath related shattered windows, dented vehicles, and battered vegetation, testifying of forest and a hailstorm. The storm, characterized by intense wind and heavy rainfall, left a trail of destruction throughout the region. The storm approached meteorologists, warning of the potential impact, urged residents to take necessary precautions. The Bavarian government activated emergency service, preparing the worst-case scenario. Schools were closed and public transport was significantly disrupted as a safety issue. The storm's arrival was met against winds that approached trees, damaged buildings, and disrupted power lines. In the several towns, roofs were torn off houses, and streets were littered and debris. The fierce winds, reaching speeds of over 100 km/h, pested severe throughout the residents' safety. Heavy rainfall accompanied the winds, leaving a flash floods in low-lying areas. Rivers and streams overflowed, inundated streets and homes. Emergency service working tirelessly to rescue people trapped in their homes to provide temporary shelters for those displaced by the flooding. The agriculture sector suffered significant losses, with many farms reported damaged crops and infrastructure. The storm also impacted wildfire, with the reports on inhabitants behind destroying animals being displaced. Throughout the ordeal, and the resilience of Bavarian people was evident. Communities came together to support each other, and volunteers helping to clean up efforts and provided aid to those in need. The government pledged financial assistance to those affected by the promise to review its disaster management plans to better prepare for future storms. As Bavaria begins to recover, the storm serves as a reminder of increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather weather event likely linked to climate change. Experts call for more robust measures to mitigate the impact of such events and for greater investment in sustainable practices to protect the environment. The ammonia sound a hailstorm painted over rooftops and cars. The Italian government, in collaboration with the local agencies, is deployed to rescue to mobilize aid to assist those facing the deep consequences to this natural disaster. The national unity is solidarity pledging support to help the affected communities recovery and rebuild in the aftermath of this devastating flooding in the hailstorm. Italy finds itself grappling with the devastation aftermath of dual national disaster as torrential flood and forest hailstorm wreaked havoc across several regions. Picturesque landscape have transformed into a scene of chaos and destruction as homes submerged and formless plummeted by ice. One can only describe the cruel twist on the fate. Communities from the northern Alps to the southern Mediterranean coastal line have broken the burst of this catastrophic event. Rivers flowing by relentless downpour burst their banks in inundated towns and villages in their paths. Streets that once bursted with the life now resemble turbulent rivers forced residents to flee high ground. Adding their misery, the relentless hailstorm stuck with the unfluid force, turning streets into ice river and blanket fields in the chilly light of ice. Transportation network are likely to be severely impacted, with a disruption expected across any travel. Airlines have already begun preemptive cancellation and delays with the train service operation are reduced schedules in anticipation of adverse weather conditions. Drivers are being urged to exercise extreme cautions, particularly on the highway and bridges where crosswinds is especially dangerous. Emergency services are on standby by response to incidents that may arise as a result of the storm, with the extra personnel deployed to high-risk areas to ensure the swift coordinated response. Local authorities have set up emergency shelters to those displaced by the storm are working closely to community organizations to provide support to vulnerable population and challenging night ahead. The townspeople known for their in the heat of Europe, Hamburg, Germany's second largest city in facing an unprecedented environmental crisis. The city, known for its rich history and vibrant culture, has recently been in the forefront in the catastrophic flood, highlighting the severe impact of the climate change. In the early hour of the morning, the residents of Hamburg woke up to a city submerged underwater. The Elbe River, which has been a lifeline of the city of centuries, transformed into a source of devastation as it burst their banks. This sudden flood has not only disrupted the daily life of the citizen, but also serious questions about the city preparedness for such natural disaster. Emergency services have been working tirelessly to rescue those trapped in their homes and provide relief to affected areas. Temporary shelters have been set up across the city to accommodate those displaced by the floods. However, the task is monumental, but the city resources are scattered thin. The impact of economy is clearly devastating. Hamburg, a major port city, has seen maritime activities for height affected by not only the local economy, but also having ripple effects across Europe. The flood in Hamburg can start reminding of a real times of climate change. Experts have warning that such extreme weather events are likely to become more frequent and intense due to global warming. While Turkey is no stranger to extreme weather events, it currently shows severe testimony of vulnerability across the region and the importance of reduced disaster preparedness. As the nation grapples with the immediate challenges posed by the storm, discussion about the long-term resilience and adaptation strategies are likely to gain promises to aftermath in the natural disaster. The storm's impact on the Turkey infrastructure is becoming increasingly evident, with the reports of power outage, fallen trees and localized flooding. Emergency services are working tirelessly to address this issue, but the sheer scale of the storm is testing the limits to their capabilities. In addition, the immediate drainage system, the storm concerns about the aftermath are growing. Landslides, a hill region, and potential disruption are critical services such as healthcare and communication network are significant worries of also. The Turkish government has called to unflight, force urged citizens to assess their neighbors and follow safety guidelines. The economic implications this storm are also in the case of applications. The disruption to the transportation or commerce could have a lasting impact on businesses, particularly those in tourism and agriculture sector. The timing the storm conditions in tourist season in the coastal areas adding the extra layer of complexity to challenges forced by the local economies. As the storm approached, Turkish across the country are heeding the warning, taking necessary precautions, are hoping for the best day they face of challenges presented by nature unpredictable phases. The coming days will undoubtedly test the resilience and preparedness of the Turkish people and to navigate the impact of this powerful storm. In a dramatic tone of event, Turkey finding itself in the grip of a formidable storm as nature unleashed its full force across the nation. The storm, which will begin intensify over the past few days, has prompted our authority to issue warning and take precautionary measures be issued to ensure the safety of citizens and property. The Turkish Meteorological Service has classified the extremely severe weather event with the strong winds, heavy rainfall, and potential flooding expected in the region. Coastal areas are particularly vulnerable with the storm surge posing a significant threat in low-lying areas. Cities along the Irigan and Mediterranean coast, including Istanbul, Izmir, and Antalya, are on high alert as the storm trajectory suggests with the swept across this densely populated area. Residents have been advised to secure loose objects, reinforce windows and doors, and possible evacuate to safe locations. Germany fired itself in those nature fury as storm Gustav sweeps relentlessly across the country, leaving a trail of destruction in its way. With the wind's howling speeds reached up to 100 km per hour and the rainfall intensified, authorities have issued widespread warning urging citizens to take immediate precaution. The northern region of Germany, both of Gustav, initial Oslo, and the coastal areas, experienced fire winds and pounding waves. Hamburg, a city accustomed by maritime weather, faced inundation from the storm surge, prompting authorities to close food barriers and deployed emergency response team to blossom deafness. As Gustav bursts eastward, it impacted it across the major urban centers such as Berlin and Munich. The iconic landmarks of the capital city tremble under to onslaught and relentless gusts, where cities become rivers as rain pours down, adapted. In the Munich, Bavaria, bustling metropolis, residents handle indoor as tourists way previously outside the Bristol leader in the streets. Transportation networks grease on the health of the storm fury disrupted air, rail, and road travel. Airports scrambling the dirty flights and ground planes altogether, while railway operations struggled to maintain service amidst the fallen trees and debris on the tracks. Highway resembled obstacle caused the driver navigate treacherous conditions, with authority urged extreme cautions to advise against unnecessary travel. In the rural areas, farmers raced against time to secure livestock, and safeguard crops on the onslaught and the wind and the rain. The agriculture hinterland of Germany faced dual threat to crop damage and potential flooding, and in the western nation already relentless from the impact of the storm. Emergency service working tirelessly to respond incidents, reducing standing motorists clearing debris from the roads, and ensured the safety of the vulnerability communities. Shelters are opening by providing refuge and those displaced by the storm, offering the warmth and respite from the relentless onslaught of nature war. Amidst the chaos, resilience of German people shine through. Neighbors band together to help one another weather the storm. With the memories of the past calamities fresh in their minds, communities until the solidarity, demonstrating the strength and spirit that defines Germany resolve in the face of adversity. As Gustav fury begins to wear in the skies gradually clear, the importance to staying informed to healing offshore warning cannot be outstated. The storm's unpredictable nature makes it essential for residents to remain vigilant to take necessary precautions. Turns and the aftermath of the extent of the damage left in the wake. Across the Europe, images uploaded to tourist damaged buildings and flooded streets painting a vivid picture of storm's impact. Emergency services are working tirelessly to assess the damage and provide assistance to those in need. In Ireland, where coastal communities and the boats of the storm surge, residents' emergencies were wreckage left behind. Finished boats slide in battery to in one shoot, where coastal defense and tested on their limit. The resilience of these communities is evident. All can come together to begin to outdoor task of cleaning up and rebuilding. In the United Kingdom, while transportation network ground and held during the heat of the storm, efforts underway to restore service and reopen King Road. Volunteers are clearing from the rail tracks, airport resume operation, and highway are gradually reopening to traffic. The resilience of the British people shine through as they adapt to the challenges posed by the storm and work toward normality. In the France, where flooding wreaked havoc in low-lying area, residents are grappling with the aftermath of the inundated homes and submerged streets. The cleanup efforts are underway as emergency service deployed prompts and dry floodwaters and residents pitched in village below. Despite the disruption, spirit of solidarity provides the communities come together to support one another in the wake of disaster. In Munich, the storm caused chaos on the street and motorists struggled to navigate throughout the hail-covered roads. Emergency services were called to several incidents, including a car incident on the AA motorway. Local authorities have urged residents to avoid unnecessary travel and to stay indoors where possible. And the fire in hailstorm has battered parts of Germany, caused widespread damage and disruption. The storm was stuck on Saturday afternoon, dumping the large hailstorm the city, including Munich and Stuttgart. Living cars dented the windows, smashed. Some areas reported hailstorm as large as a tennis ball. The storm also caused damage to buildings, with the reports of roof being ripped off and window shattered. In the town of Swedrid Hall, firefighters were called to rescue a man who had become trapped in the car and fallen debris. Meteorologists have warned that more storm could be one of the way. There is a high travel lighting in some parts of the country. The German Weather Service has issued warning for several regions, including Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg, and advised people to take precautions. In the heat of Europe, Hamburg, Germany's second largest city and facing an unprecedented environmental crisis. The city, known for its rich history and vibrant culture, has recently been in the forefront and the catastrophic flood, highlighting the severe impact of the climate change. In the early hour of the morning, the residents of Hamburg woke up to a city submerged underwater. The Elbe River, which has been a lifeline of the city of centuries, transformed into a source of devastation as it burst their banks. This sudden flood has not only disrupted the daily life of the citizen, but also posed serious questions about the city's preparedness for such natural disaster. Emergency services have been working tirelessly to rescue those trapped in their homes and provide relief to affected areas. Temporary shelters have been set up across the city to accommodate those displaced by the floods. However, the task is monumental, but the city resources are scattered thin. The impact of economy is clearly devastating. Hamburg, a major port city, has seen maritime activities for height affected by not only the local economy, but also having ripple effects across Europe. The flood in Hamburg can start reminding of a real times of climate change. Experts have warned that such extreme weather events are likely to become more frequent and intense due to global warming. This disaster has put a spotlight on the need for cities to adapt and build resilience against such climate-related challenges and recover from the havoc brought by nature indiscriminate fury. Yet the scars of the storm severe stark reminder of the fragility of human experience in the face of Mother Nature, a wisdom power. Germany stands firm against the relentless onslaught storm Gustav, and the nation grappled with the most ferocious weather events in the recent memory. From the best cities to serene countryside, Gustav worked north to bone, testing the resilience and preparedness of the German people. In the Hamburg, the iconic port city, residents braced themselves to towering wave crash against the sea walls, threatening to beach and defense. The city educated network of flood barriers and put in the test, while emergency responses worked tirelessly to ensure the safety of coastal communities. As the storm's epicenter shifted eastward, Berlin in the nation capital found itself engulfed in the metropolis of wind and rain. Streets were bustling, activity now lie deserted, and residents need warning to seek shelters indoors. Iconic landmarks from the Brandenburg Gate to the Reichstag bear witness nature of some power. They gender juxtaposed against the raw force of the elements. In the Bavaria, Germany, picture square southwestern region rural communities face their own battle against the Gustav onslaught. Farmers toil tirelessly to serve livestock and safeguard crops, while vigilant rally together to support one another in the face of adversity. Across the countryside and landscape transformed into patchwork of resilience, while solidarity and determination severely battled against the storm. Transportation networks burst at the anticipation under the strain of Gustav fury, where the railway and the highway all experience disruption. Flights are grounded, trains are delayed, and the roads become treacherous and fallen trees in the bruised leather landscape. Yet, amidst the chaos, emergency service work tirelessly to keep vital lifeline open. They ensure the safety of those in need. As nightfall and Gustav fully ban anyway, Germany emergency battled the engulfed communities come together to assess the damage, clear debris, begin the long process to rebuilding. From the bustling cities to north of tranquil villages on the south and spirit resilience burns the bright, reminded the worst of Germany's underwater resolve in the face of nature's foreign challenges. Resilience a mandate among them. Massive floods have wreaked havoc in historic district of Jordan in Paris, France, following heavy rainfall on past few days. In a picturesque neighborhood known as the German canals and Quarting Bridge have been transformed into waterlogged maze. The river Seine burst its banks submerged streets, shops, and homes as a torrential smooth water surged through the sea. Local residents were cut off guard by a sudden deluge, with the many forced and evacuate their property and flood waters rapidly rose. Emergency service and volunteers have been working tirelessly to rescue stranded individuals to provide shelters to those affected. The authorities have issued a red alert urging residents to remain vigilant and prioritize their safety. The flood had caused significant disruption in the daily life in Jordan. Public transportation service have been severely affected, with several bus routes suspended and metro stations closed due to water damage. Businesses in area, including restaurants and board quays, have been forced to close their drops, temporarily adding to the economic strain caused by ongoing pandemic. The city government has mobilized the rescue to manage this crisis. This disaster has put a spotlight on the need for cities to adapt and build resilience against such climate-related challenges. The economic impact of the natural disaster through the year to the fully Queenfield is expected to be significant, as the storm paced the relentlessness of the Sicilian people shone through. Communities burned together, aid the cleanup efforts to provide support to those hardest hit. Social media was abuzz with the emergencies, with the messages of solidarity and offered assistance, showcasing the indomitable spirit of the island's inhabitants. Meteorologists have attributed the severity of the storm and combination of climate factors, emphasizing the increasing unpredictability the weather patterns. This event severe stark reminder of the challenges faced by climate change, underlining the urgent need for sustainable environment policies. The Italian government response to the crisis plunged full support to the recovery force. Prime Minister, in a statement, assured the allocation for reserves and resources to aid affected areas. Moreover, he emphasized the importance to bolstering Italy's infrastructure with a stance to such extreme weather events in the future. As Italy embarks on its journey to recovery, the already has sparked to national conversation on disaster preparedness and climate resilience. The storm, while on test on island fortitude, had also been a catalyst for unity and reflection of the importance to collective action to the face of environmental challenges. The German government has urged citizens to need the advice of authorities and stay informed throughout the official channels. Germany emerged better than and both ready to rebuild. Europe finds itself in the grip of tempestuous battle with the nature of what the powerful storm swept across the continent, leaving a trail of chaos and destruction in the way. From the white-swept coast in the Ireland of the snow-blanket streets of Scandinavia, millions are grappling with the ferocious of elements. In Ireland, where coastal communities are accustomed by the burst of Atlantic gales, the storm surge has battered shorelines and swept waves crashing against the seawalls. Authorities have issued warning urged residents to remain indoors in case of winds route speed exceeded 100 km per hour through a terrain to uproot the tourism damaged infrastructure. Meanwhile, in the United Kingdom, transport network have ground the height of the storm and lashed the fury. Flights have been cancelled, trains delayed, and roads rendered treacherous by fallen debris. Emergency services are working tirelessly to clear roads and restore service, but the sheer force of the storm presented formidable challenges. Across the English Channel, mainland Europe is not spread from the tempest rage. In France, torrential rain has triggered flooding in low-lying areas, pressing residents to evacuate their homes. The iconic Eiffel Tower stands stoically amidst the tumult, a symbol of resilience of the face of adversity. In the German, where the winter chill still liner heavy snowfall exacerbating the chaos disrupting both the urban and rural life. Schools are closed, businesses shattered, and public transportation paralyzed as the country grappled with the dual onslaught of the storm wind. For the east and Scandinavia, the stormy Arctic grip, tornado of blizzard continuation swept across the landslide. Norway, Sweden, and Finland are blackened in the snow with the visibility reduced in northern some areas, despite their reputation of resilience in the harsh winter. Germany is in high alert as a powerful storm system swept across the nation, bringing with the violence wind, torrential rain, and through widespread destruction. The German Meteorological Service has issued severe weather warning for the vast stretch of the countries, urged residents to take precautions and remain vigilant. The storm, dubbed Gustav by meteorologists, is expected to make landfall in the northern Germany before rapidly moving eastward and engulfing major cities such as Hamburg, Berlin, and Munich in the path. With a gust of 100 km per hour are forecast posing significant risk to property and public safety. Authorities have cautioned against unnecessary travel and advised residents to secure loose objects outdoors, such as furniture and signage, to prevent them from becoming hazardous, projecting strong winds. Additionally, residents in low-lying areas are being urged prepare to possible flooding in a heavy rainfall could lead to overflowing rivers and localized inundation. With the darkness sky and ominous cloud gathering about the iconic landmarks, including the Eiffel Tower and the Notre Dame Cathedral, the bustling streets in the Paris are fighting the crowd with the occupation with a sting of urgency. Local authorities have urged citizens to execute cautions to stay indoors and the storm intensify escalates. Weather forecasts predict that the tempests of bring heavy rain accompanied by the foreign gust of wind, posing a significant threat to the city infrastructure and public safety. The potential for flash floods and power outage has risen concerns about among officials who have implemented precautionary measures to minimize the impact. Continue to coverage the storm intensity when attention weekend for UK. Updates to involved station. The Bavarian state government has declared a state of emergency in the affected areas, and emergency services have been working to clear roads and assess the damage. Many roads have been blocked by debris, making it difficult for emergency services to reach those in need. In Bavaria, Germany, a violent hailstorm has caused extensive damage to homes, cars, and crops. The storm struck on Tuesday afternoon and lasted several hours, unleashing large hailstones that pelted the region. Basements were flooded, trees were downed on public roads, and police reported several traffic incidents involving hydroplaning. Firefighters reported that rainwater was following from fields and meant down in the streets, houses, and basements. Germany authorities have issued new weather warning after deadly storm hit Central and Southern Europe. Germany found itself on the front lines in a fierce battle against the relentless force of nature's storm Gustav, unleashing the fury across the nation. From the northern shores to the southern plains on the continent, the country spared from the war and the powerful tempest. The coastal areas such as Hamburg and Bremen and Halle, wind will up towering when they crashed against the sea walls, treachery to boost defense and inundated low-lying areas. Residents huddled indoors, breaking themselves from the author, while the emergency responders stand to ready to spirit in the action and their moments notice. As Gustav barriers inland, urban centers like Berlin and Frankfurt become battleground against the enemy. In the rural communities, farmers and villagers mobilized to protect their livelihood in the name of Gustav's onslaught. Filled up, flooded enemy groups are battered by the relentless rain bones on the threat to food security and the economic stability. Yet, amidst the chaos, the resilience of the German people shine through. Neighbors come together to lend helping hand in the face of adversity. Transportation network, grid and health and train are delayed, flights are cancelled, and highways become impossible. Travelers are stranded, unable to reach their destination, as Gustav wreaked havoc on the infrastructure across the country. Yet, despite the disruption, emergency service worked tirelessly to keep vital lifeline open. They ensured the safety to those in need.